Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2021 general reading. We're looking at the first half of February from the 1st to the 15th. And this reading is for the fire sign of our lovely Leos, our lovely lions. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today. And if you can and you feel like it, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and share. Thanks for all that you do in support of this channel. So this reading is for Leo for the first 2 weeks of February 2021. That's Leo Sun, Moon, Rising if your Venus is in Leo, or if you're cross-watching for a Leo. It's all relevant in some way, but of course being a general reading is going to resonate a little differently for everyone. You know your story. If you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, watch them all because each one can provide a little bit of additional insight and perspective. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, get a little deeper look at something, you can click on the description link below for more info and contact details. Hit that little arrow. You'll see my email address there, maggie1maguire@gmail.com. Please feel free to email me directly. I can usually respond within the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all different areas of life. And people are still ordering those 6 and 12-month overviews. I mean, you can order them anytime, but a lot of people like to do it, at the end of one year, beginning of the next. It gives a nice overview for the next 6 or 12 months in all the main areas of life, kind of give you a sneak peek ahead, so something to keep in mind. I do offer a variety of other readings as well. All right, let's move right into this. Leo. Let's see what the first half of February 2021 has in store for you. All right, Leo, we begin with the Ten of Cups, the Happy Home card, followed by the Two of Wands, Crossroads energy. We have the Nine of Cups with the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Wands. There you are, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. For most of you, this is going to be your energy. Some of you, it might also be another person that's somehow significant or influential during this time. That could be a fire sign as well. And with the Queen of Wands, we have Temperance, balance. From the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot, which represents overall energy for the first half of February. And I did pull the second one behind it initially, and I'm going to keep that with the World. So we have the Chariot and the World for overall energy for the first 2 weeks of February, Leo, which likely points out that whatever this issue is for you, it's probably a pretty significant one and profound in that it looks like you're struggling to bring something to a final closure, some kind of chapter of your life or set of chapters in your life that have been particularly significant or profound, or that you've been on for a while, bringing those to a successful conclusion and kind of moving into something else, moving into a new journey, which is the overall energy. The Chariot with the World. Because of your persistence and determination and fortitude, the World is the last major arcana card in the tarot. We begin with the Fool, and all the cards in between the Fool and the World are all about the Fool's journey through particular portions of life. Learning, changing, growing, evolving, falling down, failing, succeeding, getting up, moving forward until we get to the end, which is the World card, which represents successful completion and achievement and moving on to a brand new journey. And then we'll start with the Fool all over again, but not the same journey, a different one. The World kind of marks those epochs in our life that we define as before and after. And successful achievement and conclusion doesn't always necessarily mean that the path to it was all positive and you didn't learn or fall down or get hurt or make mistakes. It just means that you're done with a significant portion of your life path and journey, and you're going to be starting off on a new one. The Chariot represents success in your goals as well, but it represents success on a difficult and challenging path. This may be a path where you have, fallen down, gotten run over a few times, 8 or 9 times, but you keep getting up and you keep moving forward, and that's how you eventually obtain your goals. It's success that comes from staying focused on whatever your goal is, and no matter how many times you fail or get knocked down, you won't lose sight of that and you keep moving towards that, and that's how you actually win, because you refuse to give up. Success comes from determination, fortitude, perseverance on a difficult path. So it looks like you are in the process of bringing something to a final conclusion and starting a new journey in life, Leo. Looks like it has something to do with your home and family life. It could be on an emotional level or an actual physical level or some combination of the two of them. We have the Ten of Cups here with the Two of Wands. So the Ten of Cups is, tens represent completion and fulfillment also in the tarot. It represents a cycle coming full circle. In the Ten of Cups, we call it the happy home or happily ever after card because it represents feeling as if you have reached a place, particularly where home and family is concerned, that you don't really want for too much more. I mean, this is a card that can represent family and home and childbirth and marriage and feeling like everything has finally come together in the way that you want it to. And while we always have perhaps things we want more of, this is kind of, the happily ever after card. It represents the absolute fulfillment of emotions in a positive way in regards to home and family. Now with it is the Two of Wands, which indicates being at a crossroads and needing to make a choice, needing to choose a path. I feel like Leo, I feel like whatever your home and family life has been, both on an emotional and maybe even on a physical or practical level too, I feel like, because we have the Nine and Ten of Cups here both, and I feel like this is something you really long for, whatever this is for you, because whatever the white picket fence is for you, for some of you it might actually be marriage and home and family and the white picket fence and the house. Others of you, that Ten of Cups might look differently, but whatever it is for you, that Ten of Cups. We also have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment and abundance and getting everything you want, particularly in a physical, decadent, sort of visceral sense. This man has more than enough to eat, more than enough to drink, so much that he can open his house up and share it with other people. Nine and Ten of Cups, feeling physically, materially, financially, and emotionally content, particularly with what your day-to-day home life living situation is. But it looks like you're in the process of making some decisions about that. And the Chariot card in the world implies that whatever that Ten of Cups and Nine of Cups is for you, whatever situation you've been investing in is likely not hasn't been reaching that Nine and Ten of Cups for you. And so I think some of you may be making a decision to, or in the process at a crossroads of making a decision to ask yourself, how can I attain this and attain this happy home energy, and how can I maintain it? And whatever situation is not been satisfying in this area of your life, Leo, this is a general reading, so that's where it's going to vary. Some of you, it might be in like a love and romance, like a marriage or long-term relationship issue. Others of you, it might be something else in relation to home. It might be family members, something like that. But the Chariot implies it's been kind of a long, difficult path. And the implication about making decisions here and kind of keeping it under wraps for the time being implies that you're not where you want to be in this area of your life, and you really want to be. And so you're kind of looking maybe even stronger and more realistically than ever about, okay, if I were to change this, what decisions do I make? Do I stay? Do I make changes here? Do I leave? And it looks like you're kind of keeping that sort of crossroads energy, thinking about stuff, maybe even talking or maybe thinking about how, Could I make a major change? And if so, what would it look like and what would I need to do? It feels like you're keeping a lot of that under wraps because we also have the Seven of Swords, whom I fondly refer to as my sneaky thief card. Can be positive, can be negative, it can, fundamentally, the Seven of Swords represents somebody who has something they want to do. Something that they want to do, accomplish, acquire, a plan, something they want. And in the process of getting from where they are now to that thing, they're keeping their plans to themselves or mostly to themselves, kind of working undercover. Because the Seven of Swords represents working undercover or being somewhat, concealing things in the interest of getting what you want. It's a very self-serving card, but it doesn't need to be negative. I mean, we all do this, right? If you're in an unsatisfying job, for example, and this might be that for some of you too, and it affects your family, you might be in a job that you find dissatisfying or unfulfilling in some way, and you've made the decision to, or you're making the decision, should I stay? If I stay, is there something I can do to improve it? Or if not, leaving. So the Seven of Swords could be, you're in an unsatisfying job, and so you're actively looking for another job because you want to get a better job, right? But you're not going to tell your current job and boss and colleagues that you're leaving, or that you're planning on leaving, or that you're looking for a way to leave, because it might cause some sticky, difficult, challenging situations at your current job. So that can be the Seven of Swords too. It's self-serving, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as, of course, you're not doing something that harms yourself or others and engenders, kind of a negative karmic debt for yourself. So kind of this undercover energy. And then we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And since this is your element of fire, Leo, it looks like you are kind of owning who you are and that lovely fire energy, but in a mature and responsible and balanced sort of way. Because kings and queens have matured and evolved beyond the page and knight status. As a page, the Queen of Wands is probably very impulsive and spontaneous and all over the place and excited and jumping off and, all of this kind of stuff. But she's kind of learned, probably through painful experiences, how to manage that to make it work for her. The kings and queens embody the energy of that suit, but they've learned how to balance it and use it in a way that makes sense. And it could be that you're in this situation, which again feels like it's been dissatisfying. You're kind of coming into your own power. With the Queen of Wands, we have Temperance, another major arcana card. So you have 3 here. We have, 6, 7, 8, 3 out of 8 cards. So this is a pretty important situation in your life. Temperance is about maintaining a grounded balance, particularly emotionally. And that may be, it could be a challenge for some of you for the first half of February, or you're working, you're being very diligent at keeping yourself centered and grounded into what you want. I always describe temperance as being on a seesaw or a teeter-totter. The center represents temperance. The outside arms of it represent things that are outside of our control. Other people, what people say, external circumstances that we can't predict. Those make the arms go up and down, and we have no control over them, but we have control over how we choose to deal with it. If they make emotions rise up in us that are very challenging, if you dive fully into those emotions and feed those kind of emotions, that's leaving your center and going out on the arms. And when they go up and down, you're going to fall off because you can't keep your balance because you've lost your center. Being in your center can represent, especially in this situation, I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what this Ten of Cups means for me. I know what it would look like. I know that I want it. I know that I'm worth it. And I'm not going to let anybody dissuade me. Perhaps you're in a living situation or a relationship situation. It would be probably long-term marriage or long-term relationship, and you've been working towards it becoming something, and maybe after all this time you're realizing, hey, this isn't going to be what I want it to be, and so you're making decisions maybe to leave this situation and go off and at least have the option and possibility of having whatever it is that Ten of Cups and Nine of Cups represents for you. And even though And I want to stress this in situations like this where we've spent a lot of time investing in a person, place, or situation, a lot of time, and it hasn't worked out in the way that we wanted to, meaning it didn't come to the conclusion that we wanted. It doesn't mean that was a waste of time. You likely learned a lot of lessons, particularly about yourself and your own self-value and self-worth along the way, and those were pretty essential to get you to the next level, because this kind of has this whole feel, Leo, of leveling up. The Chariot and the World card. This is about coming to the end of a journey, and the success is not in whether or not you accomplished what you set out to accomplish in this situation. It's about what you learned to actually get you to the next level, where you then can go off on a brand new journey and find what truly, truly is your 9 and 10 of Cups. So it looks like that's what's going on here for you. You're at a crossroads. It feels like you're on the brink. I'm not sensing any real physical changes or movement during this time, but I feel like you're on the brink of going, I'm looking over here. This isn't for me anymore. It's maybe not turning out to be what I wanted, and I'm really looking at this as an opportunity to actually have what I really want. But for the time being, I'm not really sharing this with people. I'm not really sharing this with too many people. Some of you, and again, trying to keep this balance here, especially with it under wrap. It feels like for the first half of February, Leo, you're going about your day, you're doing all the things and the stuff, and you're doing them as well as you've ever done the things. But underneath, there's like this whole bubbling kind of thing of, okay, what am I going to do? I think I'm ready to start making actual real plans to have my 9 and 10 of Cups. I'm looking at making these very real decisions. It feels like this is what precipitates the actual real physical change decisions about home and family life. Now, what that actually is going to vary, because this is a general reading, right? For some of you, it might mean moving to another place. For some of you, it might be going to a place where you have family or more family. For some of you, it may mean making choices under the umbrella of home and family, and maybe the actual house or property you live in order to improve it and get what you want. Let's clarify a couple of things here. Let's clarify this Two of Wands, this crossroads energy. You're definitely at a crossroads and trying to make a decision about what you feel is your happily ever after scenario. Clarify the Two of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. Moving, relocating, a new job, a new project, a combination of all of those things. Maybe moving and relocating to have a new job. Maybe moving and relocating your family. Some of you, it might be that you don't have, this is where the general readings can go right down the rabbit hole, because it's not a personal reading. Whatever it is, your 10 of Cups is, whether it looks like you're making a decision to make some very practical, physical changes in order to make that 10 of Cups possible for you. Whether it's making changes in your current home and family life, whether it's making changes to go move somewhere else to have that, whether it's in the form of a marriage and that kind of home, or maybe even around other family, blood family, or a combination of all of those things, like a whole fresh, brand new start completely somewhere else. Because that's what the Ace of Pentacles is. It's a new beginning, as the aces always are. But this is earth energy, so it's practical. Moving, relocating, new jobs, new projects, new starts, new home. Right behind it is the Emperor. Could be a father or father figure in here, especially for those of you it could be like moving a father or father figure in or out of the home. It could be that there's a relationship central here that is significant, that might be an Aries individual. Sun, Moon, or Rising. All right, let's clarify the Seven of Swords, our card of keeping things undercover. Let's clarify that. Keeping things undercover for the Nine of Cups, for wish fulfillment, particularly in a physical, material sense. Because it feels like whatever situation you've been investing in, Leo, you've been investing in it likely for some time. with the idea of the Nine of Cups and Ten of Cups as your goal. But it's like, here you are X years, X amount of time later, and you're like, this just isn't. So I want to go out and get it. So it's all about making decisions about that. But I think you're just not talking about it maybe to the people who are directly around you. The Three of Pentacles. So you may be partnering with other people or conspiring. Well, maybe conspiring is a bad word. Or, because the Three of Pentacles represents a collaboration, a team. Compromise, negotiation, collaboration with a team, kind of working things out with a team of people. It might be you and two other people that you're maybe talking about this with, or thinking about maybe kind of joining a small group of people or a partnership of some kind in order to have what you want. Have this 9 and 10 of Cups. What's behind that? Death, a permanent ending, so that there can be transformation. It's all over this reading, Leo. So I think that you're seriously thinking, maybe in a way that you haven't before, even though you may have entertained the idea of making these major changes or leaving or whatever, leaving your home, leaving your job, whatever it is, leaving the relationship even. But here it feels like you're actually looking at very real possibilities and potential, and you're seriously considering very real plans to do that, although you're probably not talking about it or sharing it with a lot of people, except maybe a couple of people. They might be people you're related to or just close to. Because I feel like a family connection in here, although, again, being a general reading, how that's going to resonate, it's going to vary. But it's about bringing an end, a final end, to a situation that you are currently in that is not fulfilling. Let's see what the end result of all this energy is by the middle of February, which is about what this covers, the first half of February. To come out. The Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I don't think that there's a physical change that occurs during this time. Like if you're making a decision to move or relocate or get a new job or some combination of all those things, leave home or something like that, this is a card of taking stock, taking inventory, looking at what you've invested, what you've gotten out of it, and making decisions based on that. So I'm just looking for kind of like the end outcome of this energy, meaning where do we find ourselves around the middle of February? Still thinking about stuff, but in a very real, practical way. And if you make a decision to have a physical change, like a move, it's maybe about actually thinking about it in a practical way. Okay, what would this have to look like? What would I have to do? What do I need to set in motion? All of that kind of stuff. But for the first half of February, which is what this reading covers, there's all this internal stuff going on. But I do get the sense that you are having conversations with one, maybe another, maybe two people about this. So it's a pretty positive reading. It's always going to be positive when we have the World card in terms of graduating to the next level, although there, of course, is always aspects of that that's difficult because while there's considering opportunities and making real decisions to move forward into the next phase of your life, of course, that does mean we do have to close some things out and say goodbye to things, and that can be challenging as well. That's life, right? Okay, Leo. That is your reading for the first half of February. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was at least useful and provided some helpful insight to you. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you, you'd like to reach out for a personal reading. Information about that, click on the description link below. Click on that little arrow. You'll see my email address there. Feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the February mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well and as sane as possible, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.